Hi, I'm Rico.
And this is the game plan. Today, we're going to talk to you about our favorite games of 2005 to 2009.
Yes. Our favorite game of each year.
Of each year.
For these 5 years. So
Yes.
it's not necessarily these are our top 5 of this 5-year span.
Oh.
It's the favorite from each year.
Yes.
And then we have to guess what we think the other person's...
Oh, I didn't do that.
I love Lindsay.
Okay.
All right, so let's start with 2005.
Oopsie. So you go and see if you can guess mine.
Okay, so my 2005 so we didn't get into the hobby until much later than 2005, and so our experiences with games, just due to the nature of when we started, is going to be more recent. But turns out there wasn't a whole lot of great games in general at that time period, so unless you really did play during that time, I don't see that you'd play a lot of games in that era.
Yeah, a lot of them I had never heard of.
It was pretty slim pickings here. So 2005 for me was Vegas Showdown.
Me too.
And I had chosen Vegas Showdown for you. So
I love this game, but the components are garbage. It's such a fun game, though.
just look at them. Look at this. It's like vomit on the screen. Like what's?
It's like paper and very chintzy poker chips and stuff, but it's a really fun game. You're just laying out a casino. You're bidding on areas of your casino, and then you're putting them in, and you have to connect certain things together. And if you can make a whole line from one end to the other, you get extra points and just stuff like that. Don't put this game off because of its components, because it's a really fun game.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of you watching have heard people say this in particular about this game is...
If you've heard of this game, that always comes along with it.
If they did a Kickstarter for a deluxe edition of this game, it'd probably be massively popular, because it's a great game. And the mechanics, the design of the game hold up today, but the components, I mean...
They're so bad.
They're just basically a piece of thick paper.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's
and the poker chips that are supposed to be money don't even say what denomination they are.
Yeah, they're just like generic green plastic, like the type you'd get at the dollar store, very cheap.
And it plays up to 5, and there's only 5 of one of the colored poker chips, and just stuff like that. Yeah. It's just funny. It's funny because it's such a good game.
Yeah. So for 2006, I'm sorry, I don't think you've played a game in 2006.
None of those games.
Okay. And the only one... And I had not either. And there was only one that I would be interested in playing, but I will never play it. Most likely, never, but most likely won't play it, is Through the Ages.
That's the one I picked as well, and because I'd heard of it.
Yeah.
And all the other ones, I just had no idea.
I wouldn't play it because there's now Through the Ages, the new story. Because this is Through the Ages, a story, was the story of Civilization. And then there's now Through the Ages, a new story of Civilization, which is just essentially... I think it's just a cleanup and streamline of that one. So there's no reason to play that one now that the new one's out. So I don't think I'd ever play it.
But it was the only one that I had even heard of.
Yeah.
So I put it on my list.
I'd heard of a lot of them. I just wouldn't want to play any of them. Okay, so then 2007. I think we have the same one, and that's for me Brass Lancashire. Yep. Now we only played the new edition of it, but it's the same design.
But they call it Brass Lancashire, which is what we played.
Yeah. And it's the same game. It's just the second edition is just newer components and fancier, but it's the exact... Well, there's like...
Little tweaks.
Yeah, little tweaks. It's essentially like a second edition, but it's the same design, so it counts. And yeah, definitely of the list there, that one was my favorite. And I figured that... I think it was the only one you've played. I played a handful in that year, and I was like... None of them are really any good. Okay, so this next year, I think...
Oh, I had an honorable mention for 2007.
Really?
Coliseum.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of another year. Coliseum is a great game.
Yeah.
And now that I remember that Coliseum's in there, actually there were a handful of games in this year that I did like.
Yeah, so I had to make a note of that.
Yeah, that's good call. I must be thinking of...
2006 still?
Maybe, no, Vegas. I was thinking 2005 year.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so for 2008, I think that we have different games.
Well, I have an honorable mention for this one too. So.
Oh, so then maybe we have the same game, and your honorable mention is what I thought you would pick.
Maybe.
So my pick is Dominion.
Okay.
and I thought your pick would be Stone Age.
My pick was Stone Age.
Okay, and your honorable mention
Is Roll Through the Ages.
Oh, it's Roll Through the Ages. Okay.
I
guess
really love Roll Through the Ages. It was the first roll and write I ever played, so I'd never, except for like Yahtzee, but that doesn't really count. Stone Age, because it's worker placement. It's just one of my favorites. So.
Fair enough. So you didn't. I thought I chose Stone Age thinking that because she really does like it, and it's good, and I like it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't sure if she would put Dominion. I wasn't sure, but it sounds like Dominion wasn't even number 2. Like it's
No, it was 3 or lower.
Okay.
I like Dominion, but I would always probably ask to play these 2 over Dominion.
Okay, fair enough. And in 2009, I think there was only one game that I even remotely liked from this year. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
I don't know that we're going to have the same one on this one, but I don't know.
Mine was Telestrations.
Oh, that's interesting.
What was yours?
Small World.
Oh.
I like Small World. We don't have it anymore. We kind of overplayed it a little bit, but I'd play it again if it was at a convention or something and people wanted to play it. I think it's a good game. We just kind of played it too much in a row there for a while. Yeah. It was early on in gaming, and we had borrowed it, so we played it a few times, and then we bought it and played it a few times, and just kind of got over it.
I'm not quite over being over it. Like to me, it's I don't know. I think as my tastes were refined, there were aspects of that game that I'm just not particularly a fan of.
It's a good gateway game.
It is. It is a good gateway game, and it does introduce some interesting concepts, and especially for being a gateway game, like the concept of having your civilization going into decline, but you have now control of 2 things, but they don't work quite the same, so there's a little more to think about. I appreciate what the game is and what it did for the hobby, but I'm kind of done with it.
It's fine.
So, all right. So there's our 2005 through 2009. It's kind of hard to say like the best of the best because it's really sometimes just one choice.
Yeah, especially in the first few years.
So hopefully the next series of games that we'll do here,
it gets better.
Will get better. Yeah. So well, thanks for watching, and leave comments below telling us what your favorite games of those years were.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.